on into the Garden of Gethsemane and prayed. And in his prayer, there was no one who was strong enough to remain alert with him to finish out that prayer meeting. He was left praying alone, and in so doing, the arresting officers came. You know the story. As we seek to make it a bit shorter tonight, they led him from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
All right.
And the Bible says in the beginning of this pericope that Peter followed him at a far distance. Peter was following Jesus, and he followed him at a safe distance. He followed him at a distance that would secure himself, but he at least followed him. The rest of the disciples had deserted him. He was on his way to at least be there with Jesus. And following Jesus at a far distance, he found himself in a position where he would not be able to really identify with Jesus and nor Jesus with him. But he also found himself in the crowd of the adversary. Whenever you decide to follow Jesus at a safe distance, what you call a safe distance, you're already in trouble. So often, so many of us will follow Jesus or want to follow Jesus very close up when we want something from him. But when Jesus wants something from us, we're often found at a far distance, a safe distance, a distance where nobody can really accuse you of being a holy roller. Nobody can accuse you of being a tongue talker. Nobody can accuse you of being one that have to be in the church door every time. No one could accuse you of being so close to the pastor.
Come on,
until the pastor can't turn for you. You won't have that problem.
No, you right there.
You won't have that problem.
Right there.
No one could ever accuse you of being there for Bible study and Sunday school and all that kind of dog. You are playing it safe. You're not trying to get too close to Jesus. But after all, Jesus is in power. Jesus is on his way to the cross. There's no telling what might happen when you follow Jesus too closely.
Yes, sir.
It was all right when Jesus was dividing the 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread. It was all right when they were out there on the ocean. I should say out on the sea, and the storm had arisen.
All right.
They didn't even understand the fact that the very one who calmed the raging sea also caused the sea to rage. Sometimes we forget who Jesus really is. Sometimes we seek to redefine who he is for our own convenience. And that's what happens when we are following him at a far and safe distance. Peter found himself in the midst of a crowd. A crowd that he was not familiar with. Have you been there yet? In a crowd that you were not comfortable with. In a crowd that, you know, the music was sounding good. You were familiar with that. It was smelling kind of good in there. You know, they smell that alcohol and cigarettes and all of that stuff that really titillates your sensibility. But you looked around in the room and there were no familiar faces. And you really liked that because you had what they call anonymity. You didn't know nobody. Didn't nobody know you. Oh, you don't remember those days, don't you? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You could do your thing, and you let everybody else do their thing. All right? You know what I'm talking about. But in the midst of every crowd, I promise you, there is either somebody that already knows you, or they will remember you so well that they'll know you from then on. In every crowd, don't think that nobody sees you or know you or will know you again, because somebody there will remember. That's why I was getting kind of nervous when the brother was talking to me. I was getting kind of nervous. I kind of know what he did. But I was kind of concerned about you, brother. I thought he was going to bust you down right now. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right. Yeah, got me a little nervous. But that crowd, in that crowd that night you had this young maid. This young maid was a part of the Roman establishment. That she didn't have a high position, but she had been watching what was going on around Jerusalem. And she was watching so well until she understood and could identify the various traits of the various people that moved to and fro in that city. And she understood that as she looked at Peter, that there was something about Peter that made him look different from all of the rest of the people that worked in that area. After all, it was 12 o'clock at night. And thereafter, that this was going on. And y'all know what goes on after midnight. Oh, yes. Not many people out after midnight. And those people who are out after midnight, they're not looking for just any old thing. They know what they're looking for. They really know what they're looking for now. They may not be able to find it, but they do know what they're looking for. That maid began to say to him, "Don't I know you?" Have your hands somebody, come on, you say that. I don't know if you know me or not. That's what happened. That used to be my answer. You tell me. Peter says, "No, you don't know me, and I don't know you, and I don't know him. I'm not with him." Well, the woman knew that everybody there was for one reason, and that was to see to it that Jesus be prosecuted. You were either with him or you were with them. There was no neutral ground for you to be on. After all, it's after midnight. And the only thing they were doing.